Hello and welcome to the Stephen Mendes channel. My subscribers have come to rely on me for no-nonsense technological tips, and rightly so. I have a certification in both electronics and computer science. I spent 20 years as an electronics engineer, and now I currently lecture at the university. So what am I talking about today? I'm talking about 4K versus 1080p, and we're talking about the realm of the home theater. This video is being shot on a Canon video camera in 1080p progressive scan at 24 frames per second with a very specific reason. In a few minutes we're going to go into the home theater to check some screen characteristics as well as listen to some demonstration material, just for a couple of minutes. In the home theater, the picture is being delivered on a 60-inch plasma, and the sound is coming through a Denon 1713 5.1 surround amplifier aided by a Pioneer analog amplifier, power amplifier, feeding into some Kenwood full range speakers in addition to a complete definitive 5.1 surround setup. This equipment, some of it is very old. The Pioneer and the Kenwood system was bought over 30 years ago, and the Denon was bought probably around 2014, and it brings out a very interesting point. Everything is basically compatible. My Canon video camera is capable of functioning at the 1080p 24 frame, so is the theater system. Therefore, when I try to photograph or video the screen of the television, everything works perfectly. I get a clean picture, no sync problems, and everything matches. Recently, within a few years, we have gone to 4K, and the manufacturers of the televisions say that they're not going back. They're not even producing plasma. They're not producing 1080p anymore. It's all 4K. So if you're in the market for a television or a home theater system, you're not going to have any choice. You're going to have to buy a 4K television or monitor, even though you're not going to be able to get all of the support equipment to deal with it right now, because 4K receivers, AV receivers, although available, are still growing all the time with features being added. 4K Blu-ray players and ultra high definition Blu-ray discs capable of storing more than the original Blu-ray discs. They're not being made by many manufacturers. You may obtain one at a high price. Ultimately, it will have to drop over time. But there's still quite a bit going on in 4K, and particularly release of 4K content, viable 4K content. In my media library, I have numerous movies, some of them made as far back as the 60s and 70s. And I have numerous movies made in all sorts of resolutions and with various sounds and channels and different things. Of course, I have a few upscaled and improved DVDs that I bought in the 80s and 90s. And I have some Blu-ray discs that were purchased maybe about 4 years ago. The point is, the world has come a long way in a very short time. We have moved from VHS tape through DVDs into Blu-ray in an incredibly short time frame. And the public, as well as the audio video hobbyists, have invented a considerable amount of money in these technological improvements. And now we're being besieged by 4K. It is complete madness to sell all your gear and say you're moving to 4K. As I said before, if your equipment has failed and you have no other choice but to buy a new television, then it could be that you decide to invest in 4K television and continue to try and operate it with your existing system. To change out your existing system at this time would be pointless. First of all, you'd be spending an incredible amount of money, and secondly, you're going to be sorry within a year or two, because the improvements in HDR, the improvements in the HDMI 2 specification are far from over. And you may well find that that overly expensive product that you purchased, you wish you had waited 6 or 8 months. You would have gotten more technology for a lower price. Be happy, people. I'm trying to get you all to be happy. If today you have a 1080p theater and it's functioning fine, don't do a thing. Do not become a victim of the technological trap. I have been into the store, and I haven't made a review yet, but maybe the store will allow me to make me a review of the 4K experience. And let me tell you that it is a very small, imperceptible in many cases, improvement over the 1080p. It is not like the improvements that we have rapidly seen in the past 5 years. We can say, without being contradicted, that DVD was a tremendous improvement over VHS cassettes. We can say, without fear of contradiction, that Blu-ray is a considerable and noticeable improvement over DVD. The same really does not apply to 4K. It is a small improvement, but it is going to be a long time before there is anywhere near the volume of quality content. And may I say that the movies of yesteryear were far better than what is currently being made now. And those movies are going to exist as is. So the big question you have to ask yourself is, upscaling to 4K going to make those movies look better? It's quite obvious that 4K made for 4K in the same year is going to look better. Imperceptibly better, depending on how far away you sit from the viewing display. But what about your older movies that you dearly love? If you have a media collection and the movies are made in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s or 90s, what are you going to do about them? Are they going to look better on a 4K television, or are they going to look worse than they do on a 1080p? As always, we welcome interaction on this channel. If you disagree, say so. If you agree, say so. Please go down below and comment on your own personal experiences, and let me help you ask any questions you may have, technical or of other nature. And please hit that subscribe button and continue to watch the Stephen Mendes channel, the no-nonsense channel that, while we know all about technology, we're anxious to help humans escape the technology trap. This technology trap is designed to relieve you from your money. Make no mistake about it. It's designed to relieve you from your money in a hurry. Why should your investment of 10, 20 or 30 years ago in quality equipment all of a sudden be thrown out? As I said to you, on this channel, we use equipment that's 30, 40 and 50 years old. The beauty of the analog equipment is, as long as it's cared and continues to work, it sounds good. It sounds good. Speakers don't go bad unless they're maltreated. As long as they're kept in a good environment and care, they will last your lifetime. Audio amplifiers, unless they're treated badly, will probably outlast your lifetime as well. So why become a victim of the technology trap, throwing out your equipment every couple of years and spending more to make the giant corporations wealthier?